Hello, Apollo 11 Houston. We recommend you accept the now 49. Continue through your sequence of sightings, and then we'll analyze the data afterwards. Over. You're okay.
Okay, so previously we were discussing speaker setups for our computer, just to catch all the fans up. But yeah, so I have the 8-inch Klipsch sub. I actually think it's a 6-inch sub, and then I got these dope ass bookcase speakers. So I'm thinking I need to upgrade this sub, but my issue is, do I pull the 12-inch sub off my surround sound and go to an 18-inch sub there and use that 12-inch sub down here? Mind you,
Do you hear yourself?
we're 20 feet from the 12-inch sub.
Do you hear yourself right now?
Why don't you just split into the sub?
An
Line up over-
18-inch
over the wall.
subwoofer for the house.
Well, we're turning that area into a theater room, and I want it to bump. So my options for doing that was either go up to an 18-inch or do two 12-inches and one in each corner. But then I have to upgrade the receiver, which I kind of already want to do because it doesn't have Dolby Atmos, and I want Dolby Atmos. And I, in theory, have two more Bose speakers. I haven't tested them. So that'll put your ups, your rears as Bose, the side channels as some 1980s RCA analog speakers that shake the house already, and a center channel is a $300 center channel I bought used. I only spent like $12 on it, but when I looked it up, it was $300. But that's the sound system I'm planning for the theater room. So do I just yank that 12 and throw it over here and do an 18-inch in the theater room? You're my sound guy. I don't know why you're looking at me like that.
Dude, you can bump the fuck out of a 12.
I know. I have this 12 turned way far down. But I plan on soundproofing that room so we could really bump it hard, too.
You can bump it with two 12s.
You're trying
Yeah.
to shake the floor upstairs, is what I'm hearing.
So,
Yes, that's the goal.
with the theater room, do you want it to be a balanced sound? Because it just get two 10s, and then you can have a really nice balanced sounds, and then they can also work dynamically.
I'm not going to get
And
two
that-
10s. That's too small. I'm a size queen.
I,
I thought about going 10s, and it hurt my soul. So it's 12s minimum. I
I'm
have a
not good
12.
like that.
All right, so then rock 114 in the center.
Why not 15?
You don't need to.
15s are cheaper than 14s. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Then yeah, I mean, if you get a good deal on a 15, you get a good deal on a 15. I can't argue that.
Okay, so
Don't
Singles-
ask me. I'm the one who still runs two 86 clip speakers that'll shake a whole apartment building.
yeah, that's what the RCAs do. These RCAs are good for like 1600 watts a piece.
That's so funny.
Okay, so we've decided a 15 over there, which means you're giving me permission to bring the 12 that's over there to my computer.
Yes.
Good talk. All right,
Permission, I like it.
roll the intro.
And with that permission, hello and welcome back to the Depths of Jigoku Podcast. This week we are joined by Kain,
Hola.
DreadPirate,
What up, guys?
KickenBeans,
Hola.
Scorch,
Damn it.
Hey, yo.
and me, Bipoe. What else are we going to talk about today?
He finally said it. I've been saying hola this entire time because you usually won't say it after I say it. You haven't
Yeah.
broken this in 23 episodes.
Who's you?
You didn't say hola this time.
I did say hola this time.
Oh.
Yes, he did.
No, I was not paying attention.
Someone's not paying
Damn it.
attention.
Hey, DreadPirate, check your mic. Make sure you're on the right mic.
I just did.
Okay.
Better?
Better.
Okay.
Oh, that's funny.
So PSN going down, guys.
Dude, it's a good thing. It means you guys get to play more Monster Hunter while I'm at a stupid bachelor party.
It's not stupid. Don't say that. This is a public forum.
It's not stupid.
It might be.
I love the person's bachelor party we're throwing for him. The best man's a pretty cool dude. The other two, I have no fucking idea. I've never met him. But I want to play some Monster Hunter. I missed the last beta.
I mean, you've got
Can you
what, a
run-
week?
Can you run it on the Steam Deck?
No, not yet.
That'd be cool.
They're supposed to, at release, have a Steam Deck settings in the graphics. Whether it works, who knows? Because that's always a shit show. Like the Cyberpunk one is unusable.
I
See?
gotcha. That's unfortunate.
You could play Cyberpunk, just don't use the Steam Deck preset. It's like
Oh, I
22
see.
frames. You can get that
gotta
thing
go-
up to 40 real easy. And it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, PSN network going down. That was wild.
Yeah, because what was that for? Basically, like 2 days. Friday night to I think it was almost Sunday before it came back, like Sunday morning or something. Not that any of us really jam
Doesn't
on a
matter to any
PlayStation
of
at this
us.
point.
I've been thinking about it, but the PlayStation
But they-
network is one of the reasons I'm saying no.
But they've also haven't come out with a reason behind it at all.
Oh, they were hacked at Sony. We knew that.
Absolutely.
DDoS or something.
Maybe DDoS or like a somebody just getting more data. They have data breaches all the time, and that's usually their go-to is just unplug the fucking thing. Which I'm not a cybersecurity expert, but if it doesn't have power, you can't steal shit from it.
I mean, that's not wrong.
You are not wrong.
Causes more problems?
Yeah, but those are problems for PlayStation Network nerds to figure out later.
So what I'm hearing is the network security lead was basically like, "We're getting hacked. Quick, pull the plug."
Yeah.
Literally like some movie level hacking shit. Hilarious.
Well, because last time it leaked executives' personal emails.
Can't have that.
Yeah.
That's no blame.
So I'm
Mhm.
thinking they probably changed up their policy since then.
Hopefully.
Oh, in fairness, that is a rumor. But if you sail the high seas, you could find all the stuff that was leaked and also see the executives' personal emails. Don't do anything malicious.
But it's there.
Welcome to my TED Talk.
Nice.
But that's a silver lining of it. Those of us who got to play it and still want to play it got 5 whole days of it.
The
Yeah,
only,
that's true. I didn't really even get to play on this run of the beta. Like I played for like maybe 20 minutes.
I got an hour and a half in and had to do shit.
Yeah,
I mean, my
after I
character
finally
made it through the beginning and killed the toad. That was it.
Poor Beans got like 5 seconds in it.
Yeah, I finally got my PC built, got it all up and running, and then I got logged in, got through the intro cinematic, started running through the desert sands being chased by worms, and then my whole system crashed. And then I spent the next 30 minutes diagnosing it to come to find out that it crashed because I was in a game that the servers got shut off and it didn't know how to interpret that information. So it just crashed my whole system. And there was
Yeah,
nothing wrong.
do you
Sounds
want
like a beta thing.
to tell the peanut gallery why your system was down?
So through all of this craziness with the market that we're in with graphics cards,
Mhm.
someone in my state managed to get their hands on a 5090, which round of applause, good for them. They got theirs through Best Buy. They got lucky. But in order for them to recoup their money, they sold their 7900 XFX XTX. That's the card I've been looking for. And Scorch threw me a message, and he was like, "Hey, check this out. This is in my opinion, such a lucky, humble nerd moment because the dude that I purchased it from legitimately sold it for a bang out fucking price and was just an honest dude that was wanting to help out another computer enthusiast. So he hooked it up, got home, got it all torn apart, got the old system torn apart, got it put into the new system to find out it's a half inch too long for the current case that I had. And then things started to escalate from there. I was like, all right, half inch, I can make that up. No big deal. Start measuring things out to start cutting the case and then pull the sag bracket that the XFX cards come out with. And that motherfucker adds an extra inch and a half. Guess what I can't make up? Just like most men, can't make up an inch and a half.
And this brings up today's sponsor, Blue Chew. No.
Nice.
That would have been a great sponsor.
Apparently, Blue Chew's not too hard to get. I just want to get past all the weddings and stuff before I start reaching out for sponsors. I really want to get lock and load, and I'm almost willing to do it for like an absurdly low sum. So
Let's not say
Well,
that on a
story-
podcast that we're currently doing.
that's fair.
You know, let's not be like, "Hey, we'll sell out real cheap." Like, let's have some dignity.
Well,
We
let's go ahead
have
and
dignity.
timestamp that, and we can just remove the last like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, one thing leads to another. Got a brand new full size case. Got everything torn apart to transfer into the new case, and then got it all built. Got it all plugged in. Boots up first time. Everything looks Gucci. Everything looks great. Except the fucking NZXT AIO that I have short circuited itself and will not go above idle at 850 RPMs on the fucking pump. So immediately CPU starts failing, starts reaching max temp, starts thermal throttling. I have a brand new GPU that I can't even utilize because the CPU doesn't even know what the fuck to do with itself. Got that all torn back apart, picked up a new AIO. Now I got the system fucking running. Got all the software updated. Load up wilds, and then it crashes. Because little beknownst to me, in my time zone, was not the time zone that they were going off of to cut the fucking beta.
I mean, yeah, I'm happy for you though. You went.
Oh, I'm fucking ecstatic.
You went.
I went from a 3060 12 gig to the 24 gig 7900 XTX, the XFX Speedster. Fucking dope ass card. Super happy.
You also went from 50 frames and struggling on medium to 150 frames on ultra on Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah, you did.
And that's without tuning anything. That's just right out of the box.
I'm really happy for you.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. Now the nerd in me can start tuning and finding out every little thing I can get out of this card because it's got a lot of headroom. I was doing some looking ups online, and currently as the card sits, I'm pulling about on the high end at max stress about 457 watts. For what I saw online today, on average, for people that can utilize the most out of this card, are drawing upwards of like 580 watts just out of the card.
You're probably power limited because your power source is holding on for dear life right now.
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
And
He
Scorch,
knows.
you'll get a kick out of this. I turned the computer on today, and guess what I got? Coil wine out of the PSU.
Out of the PSU, not the GPU.
Yeah, there's a coil whine that you can distinctively hear from the back of my case, right where my PSU is.
Oh no.
So I got about a month before my budget can reestablish itself to go buy a new PSU. So I just got to pump the brakes, put everything on standard, and just enjoy it.
This all circles back to the reason I'm going to a bachelor party and not playing Monster Hunter. You can't buy a
It's not
power
all
source because
about
we
you.
gotta go to the wedding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
wed-
gonna be a
that-
cool wedding though.
it's gonna be it's gonna be so much fun. But traveling to that wedding added up fast, especially with the spouse. Like travel expenses for 2 people added
Ain't
up.
cheap.
Dude, I gotta do
Ain't
3.
cheap.
And then traveling right now is kind of pricey as it is, anyways.
Yeah, the cost of traveling, period, has gone up exponentially, and then all the bullshit going on with airplanes. You'd fucking think with the price that they're charging, they'd be able to fucking figure some shit out.
Well, they gotta keep the
Yeah.
upkeep on every NAS that's on every airplane because people are too lazy to load movies onto their phone. But
Every
Just
every
give us
streaming
Wi-Fi.
service lets you.
surprisingly,
Put
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi in the fucking price of the plane ticket, and then you don't have to keep all that shit because we can just stream whatever.
they have Wi-Fi on most planes now.
You
Yeah,
have to
but I
pay
have
It's
for it.
garbage.
I mean, you still have to pay for it. That's the thing, right? Like, include it in the price of the fucking ticket. Make it free again.
This brings up something I wanted to bring up last podcast. I didn't have to pay for Wi-Fi on either of my flights. Any of the 4 flights a couple weeks ago.
So most
Depends on the airline.
depends on the airline, and from what I've seen, most airlines have a contract with T-Mobile that if you have T-Mobile, you have free Wi-Fi.
I don't have T-Mobile, and it was Delta, which is the one that started to pay for the Wi-Fi thing.
That just tells me you bought a baller ticket.
I believe Delta has swapped to you have base standard Wi-Fi for free, and then you can pay to have faster Wi-Fi. So like if
You
you want
can-
to like
you can
upload
stream
stuff
to-
and play video games or something.
Yeah, you can pay so you can actually stream stuff, or you can use the free one to send messages.
Okay.
Mhm.
I don't
But
know.
also the amount of Wi-Fi you need to send a message, you can also watch basic things that you've either downloaded or don't take a lot of stress.
Hey
Or
man,
just-
if it's
or just-
enough for my Steam to realize it's connected to the internet and play my games, I'm good.
It is not going to be that latency. Is going to be garbage.
No. I'm not talking about playing like a multiplayer game. I'm talking about playing my single player games that you need to like have Steam connected to for.
Oh,
right? Like,
yeah. It
that
was
kind of shit.
it was fast
you need
enough
to
for
use
that.
Steam to start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was fast enough for that on the Steam Deck. And the Steam Deck has a garbage Wi-Fi chip in it. It's so bad I'm mad that I have to desolder it to replace it. It is just garbage.
Really? I haven't
Yeah.
heard anything about Wi-Fi chips being bad in those.
It's because it's a known garbage Wi-Fi chip. No one was surprised. Like it's not the design of the Steam Deck or anything like that. They just put in the cheapest Wi-Fi chip they could get. I think it maxes out at like 75 megabits a second.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's just enough to like connect to Steam and give it the thumbs up.
I mean, I feel like that was the original. That's the original purpose of the Steam Deck, though.
Yeah.
It's not really for online gaming as much. It's more for just
Online access.
online access, so you could play all those games that you have
Yeah,
in your backlog.
But just imagine trying to download a game onto your Steam Deck and having to wait like 3 hours because it only goes up to 75 megs a second.
I had when I changed
Pre-download.
the SSD out and re-downloaded my library or the games I wanted from my library, it was giving me like 4 days on the tally. But I plugged into the dock and it's got through the USB-C, it can do like 10 gigs a second. So it took 4 hours or something like that.
Nice.
And I have all 2 terabytes, like pretty much maxed out.
Ooh, here's a fun news article. Sorry, bringing us back to GPUs real quick. The 12-volt whatever GPU connector for the 5090s reached 150 degrees
Celsius.
at the power source.
Yep.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
So there's already been a couple cases that I saw in articles today that in 2 different scenarios where it's verified that the connector was put in correctly on the GPU side and the PSU side, that there's a common pin between both sides that have burnt up. So it is taken out the power unit and the graphics card.
And it happened to
Yeah.
the worst possible person NVIDIA could hope for it to happen to. Developer. It happened to him
Yeah.
while he was filming.
Yep. And a lot of people watch his shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely has a lock on. I mean, part of it's because he does it in Spanish, but like he's got a lock on the southern part of the country.
Doesn't he do it in German too, or am I thinking of somebody else?
I might be thinking of the wrong person. Let me double check the face to this name.
Oh, he one of my folk. He white. He pale.
Yeah, he white boy.
Like he's pale enough where he looks red on camera.
Oh, so me. Got it.
Yeah. He's
There's
one of
some
your
white
people.
Spanish people out there.
What's that?
There's some white Spanish people out there.
Yeah, not this level, bro.
Spain.
You got a little glow for you, a little moonlight.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I obviously go out into the sun often.
I have this theory because I only burn on places I don't have hair that I'm so hairy that it provides enough shade to not give me a sunburn.
Good theory.
It's a good theory. Like the canopy in a rainforest.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I only burn in places I don't have hair. It's the weirdest thing.
But yeah, I mean, that whole thing with Devour the debacle, I mean, we've known that this cable has been an issue for years, since the 4090s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they've
It's just
changed it.
now-
They've changed it
Yeah.
twice, and they said they
Sure.
fixed it.
Sure. I mean, sure. What have they possibly done, right? Like,
Yeah,
did they add a safety feature onto it that automatically like shuts down your shit when it gets too hot? No.
they did. Or
Did they?
they added a
'Cause, you know-
safety feature that if it pulls, if the block, as a whole, and there's a reason I'm specifying that, pulls too much amperage, it will shut off power to the GPU. Now, on the flip side of that, it's the block as a whole. So if there's one or two problem wires pulling more amps and the load isn't balanced, then I don't think they're going to put a load balancer on these for the fucking wire. Then you'll be pulling like 25 amps on one and like 8 amps on the other when they're supposed to be balanced out. And that's how you're getting these. What gauge would you say the cable is? 16 gauge?
Yeah, probably 16s.
Mhm.
16 gauge is good for 12 amps, if I remember anything from college. So 25 amps is a lot.
Especially for like an extended runtime, you know? Like, nah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like we're all dodging bullets on this one, not going with the latest gen.
Yeah,
And honestly, I'm very happy with the 9700 XTX.
I'm
7900.
7900.
I'm waiting on the 9070 myself. I'm between that and a 7900 XTX.
Yeah,
Good
so I mean,
Good luck finding that.
if it wasn't for Scorch throwing that link at me for this card, my original plan that I said on previous episodes was I was going to wait for the 9070. And I was reading an article today that kind of touched on a topic that Scorch and I were having a private conversation on. They've already stopped manufacturing on the 7800 cards, and to ramp up manufacturing for the 9700s. But in doing so, the article I was reading today was talking about how with that coming with them stopping production on that card specifically and them releasing it at the same time frame that Nvidia is expected to release the 5070 and the 5060, they're thinking that, for granted, this is all fucking just holy brain fart,
Guesstimations.
Words.
Guesstimate?
guesstimations. Thank you, AI.
You're welcome.
That card's probably going to be about 580 to 620.
Price were released, it's $599, which is roughly $200 cheaper than what you'll find a 5070 Ti for.
So I'm really curious to see what kind of performance is going to be coming out of that thing. I mean, we already know it's not going to be like anything Mac Daddy, but I'm really curious to see what kind of advancements they're going to be getting out of the RDNA 4 chipsets now.
So
Yeah.
apparently with the XTs, they're looking to be on par with the 5070 Ti.
But that in itself to me is kind of a blank statement because of what we've already seen with the 5090s and the 5080s. AMD's very very strict on like rasterization and what you get physically out of the hardware. NVIDIA right now is going all software to give you all performance boosts. So to me, I don't know that statement necessarily correlates with what's currently out to say that they're going to be on par with them, because NVIDIA is going to pump that 5070 out and say you get 300 frames, while their 5080 and 5090 get 350 and 400 frames because of AI generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, you have to think about the fact that you have software that's helping to support that, right? Which means your CPU utilization is going to go up just as much as your GPU utilization. I'm guessing AMD is probably targeting more GPU utilization for that frame generation and the FSR like frame gen stuff that they'd already do.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm holding my breath. I'm not holding my breath on when these cards come out because honestly, like I feel like this just isn't the year for them.
Yeah,
for
but that's
either
also
company.
the problem. Is, like they've already come out and said that they're not making any more top dog cards. So like if this isn't the year for them, it's probably going to be about 4 years before the mid-series cards like outbeat the top tier cards.
So
I mean,
but
you're not wrong.
the thing with it is if they were targeting what they thought a 5070 was going to do and hit that goal, the 5070 is going to be garbage. It was garbage. The 4070 was garbage. The 4070 Ti was basically the lowest end NVIDIA card you should have purchased. If you were going to spend less than $800, you should be buying AMD. So if they were going what they thought the increase was going to be, this might be a 5080. This might be a 7900 XTX replacement. Because they can't see into the future. They clearly were not expecting NVIDIA cards to bomb as hard as they did.
Fair. But from what I've seen, it seems like they're expecting that the 9070 is going to fit in, like the 9070 XT is going to fit somewhere between the 7900 XT and the XTX.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to beat their last flagship, but it's going to be somewhere in between, which is still pretty freaking good.
And that's 5080 territory right now. That's the sad part. The 5080 didn't jump up much past the 4080. So
I mean, when you start to overclock it in the headroom that you get on it, the 5080s are pretty beefy. But
yeah, I agree with
stock
that.
out of the box, they're not.
Yeah, stock out of the box, they're not, and you don't have to worry about burning your fucking house down.
Yeah, there's major stability issues right now. Scorch and I were also talking about that over the weekend when we were running some errands. But like, there have been some crazy cool videos that have come out about overclocking the 5080 cards and how much you can push out of them, but stability's been difficult.
Yeah, it's getting power to it. I think the cable's going to be the limiting factor on these, because you're going to see people push these 5080s, get them stable, and then 3 or 4 months down the road, there's going to be like, I don't know, it's going to be warmer in the room than their computer's fucking used to, and it's going to melt that cable because they're running on the bleeding edge of what that cable could do.
Oh yeah, they're already exceeding it.
Yeah. Well, standard engineering terms, if you say it's safe for 12 amps, then it's probably safe for 24 amps. You just, whatever you stress test it at, you just cut that in half, and that's what you say is safe.
But it sounds like the engineers were more like, yeah, 18's good.
Yeah, right. I mean, again, it could have been in a warm room, like, because they test these things at 70 degrees. If it's 74, just the heat resistance is going to raise your amperage and fucking nuke that thing. But yeah, I'm interested. It's either the 9070's dope, I find a cheap flipped 7900 XTX, or I just wait for next generation. I'm not in a rush, so might as well look at all the options because I need a 4K card. I Can't do 60 frames on Monster Hunter. It hurts my soul.
Well, your best bet right now is eBay, or I think I actually saw that there were a couple of Sapphire 7900 XTs on the egg, but they were going for like $1,500.
Yeah, no, I have a
no shit.
I have a hard limit of 850. That's
2
what I've
weeks
told
ago.
myself at. So
Well, good fucking luck to you then, sir.
I mean,
You're gonna have to find a unicorn like Beans did.
well, that's the thing. If the 9070 XT comes out and it's between a 7900 XT and an XTX for $600, I'm gonna jump on it. I mean, I'll wait for everything to die down because I'm not hurting. 60 frames is respectable. I'm not hurting for a graphics card. I have a 4070 Ti. It's fine. It's
Man,
just
60 frames is respectable for a console, bro.
yeah.
Just saying.
That's the reason right there. Is my PC master race is like dying on the inside.
Oh man, I felt that dagger going into him when you made that comment.
All I'm saying here, bro, all I'm saying here is you could, just for a little while, not run a 4K monitor.
No, because
Just
then I
saying.
gotta buy another monitor and
No, you don't.
Hold on.
What is
You
your
can-
second monitor that you already
can
have
get
on
a
your system?
7 you can get a
Oh,
700X
that's a
XT
60
on Amazon
and get
What?
what?
for 738.
The XT?
I don't want the XT. I want the XTX.
Oh yeah,
Um,
good luck with that one.
I have found them for the price range I'm willing to spend. It's just either they don't reply for 2 or 3 days and I've already given up on it because I'm too proud for that shit. Or I messaged him and he's like, I just sold it.
Update your listing.
No, like the last dude that just sold it was like, I literally just got cash put in my hand.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sucks.
I'm
Womp
not
womp.
surprised by how fast it sold out when I was trying to get mine.
Yeah, I should have pulled the trigger when you did yours because you can't find them new.
By the time I got home, they were already gone.
Yeah, I don't need a spiffy, colorful one. I don't even look at my PC.
I like my spiffy, colorful one. Thank you. Azrock did a great job on it.
Yeah, if I was going to spend that kind of money, I'd get the one with the maglev fans because that shit looks cool. And, you know, if it fails, I get a fan shot across my basement, which would be fun.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know. At this point, I feel like you're going to have to wait until there's more stock on the 50 series and people who are sitting on their 7900 XTX is upgraded. But even then, you're still probably looking at about $1,000 for what the current market price is, if not worse.
Yeah, that's the thing is I'm also not in a rush. So in like a year, when everything's calmed down, I'll probably pull the trigger on it. I legitimately made that decision and spent $180 building a keyboard. Same day.
You got to feed the hobby in some way.
Well, so I budget for my hobbies. I have separate accounts for my hobbies.
We get it. You're an adult.
So when I have the money sitting in there, I'm just like, I want to buy something stupid that I'm going to play with for a month and then it's going to sit in a bin. Because it was the keyboard or a RC drift car.
I mean, personally, I'm happy you didn't do the RC drift car because we've had plenty of time playing with RC cars, and not that we can't enjoy them now, but we've been there. We've done that.
Yeah, but
Man, I
there's
still want an RC.
there's a strong RC drift community out here. I've met a bunch of them. They hold meets pretty regularly. You could basically go like 3 times a month for free and just tandem drift with RC drift boys.
That's cool.
Yeah.
RC drift, really? I would have figured like the freaking like off-roading or rock climbing ones or
Those exist
whatever
too. My
would be way more
coworkers,
popular.
I did
My
that in
coworkers are willing for that.
2007, 2010, and I did the really fast ones in 2005.
He's always kind of been into RCs ever since Hobby Town.
Yeah, I worked at a hobby town in high school.
Yeah, that's fair.
I
remember
did
the-
RC
well,
helicopters, did RC
I remember-
planes.
I remember starting off with little Tamiya like kit.
Yeah.
And then I eventually upgraded to what was it? HPI?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember building an HPI frame. That was
By-
fun.
By the way, if you want to play with RC off-road trucks, I got 2 pretty fast ones. sitting down here in
Oh.
the basement.
I just realized
And
That'll scratch the itch.
that we used to play with RC helicopters before drones were a thing.
yeah, I had that
That's
realization
what
a few years
drones
ago.
are now.
You're old.
I just never strung those two ideas together.
Yeah. And what's crazy is the RC helicopter hobby's still a thing.
They'll
Yeah, I mean,
hardly
Yeah.
it's
fly.
still different.
Yeah, drones
Yeah,
are
but
pretty different because you could do video on the drone. And when I was in the RC helicopters, they were trying to figure that out. Like people were duct taping, trying to figure out how to balance a GoPro off their RC helicopter and have it streamed to like an iPad.
If only
Yeah.
3D printers were a thing.
I mean, they were just, only affordable by like major companies.
Yeah.
3D printing for the general populace.
And it was garbage. I got into the 3D printing hobby way too early. It was garbage.
That's so funny.
It did not start off very strong.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to find time to spend 4 hours tuning mine to make my prints better. They come out great. I just want to tune them to be better because there's nothing to upgrade on this fucking thing. It just does what I want.
What a problem.
Yeah, like multi-filament came out for the K2s. So I have a Creality K1 Max. The K2, I think the build plate's a little bigger, the build volume's a little bit bigger, but that's not why I would ever think about upgrading to it. It's because it can do, they knocked off Bamboo Labs, so they could do 4 different filaments at a time. You can theoretically upgrade my printer to do that with Creality first-party equipment, but the kit to modify the K2 multi-filament thing to a K1 didn't come out with the multi-filament system. So it's going to be like another 4 months. I can go buy the multi-filament system, put it up there, and make it look pretty. It just won't work for another 4 months till they put out the retrofit kit.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and people have figured it out, and there's a bunch, you could like print all the pieces, but fuck all that. just fuck all that.
That's so funny.
People figured out how to make the Bamboo Labs one work with this printer, and I looked at how to do it, got 3 pages in, was like, nope, I don't have the drive.
Fair.
Well, since we're still talking about computing and, parts, Newegg's PC building race finished under 5 minutes.
Saw that. That was one of my topics.
Now, here's the deal,
What?
though, for me. Here's the deal. I'll drop the article in the chat, but the deal for me is that this isn't really a PC building race. This is a PC assembly race.
Yeah.
It's literally just to get the components in the case connected, and that's your finish line, right? So, like, drop the motherboard in, put the processor in, hook up whatever kind of cooler it's got, and then drop a graphics card and some memory and all that shit in. There's no cable management done. There's no, like, booting up software or even, like, making sure it all is connected and running. Like, it's literally just assembly time. So, I mean, sure. Yeah, if I was just assembling a computer without any care about, like, cable management or fucking, like, anything else, I could probably do it in 10 minutes.
I think cable management should be an important thing. That should definitely be included.
While I agree with both your statements, it was a race. No one wants to watch Windows load.
That's
I mean, I fucking get it. I get it.
that's why
That is a
cable
funny
management-
fucking point.
Seeing it post, I would support making sure it posted. But
Look,
after
get
that, I'm
bias.
done.
They get, like,
that's one-
Hook
just
a
end it-
monitor up,
end it-
turn that
end
bitch
it-
on, it gets to BIOS.
Yeah.
You win. You win.
End
right?
it
Like,
cable management and be done with it.
No,
No booting
again,
anything
it's a
out.
race. No one wants to watch them manage cables.
I want to see some dude like speed build like a cable braid that he just like runs the whole thing down like one giant loop,
I'd be
zip
pretty
ties it in
impressed.
once, and then connects all the connectors into the power supply.
I'd
right?
be
Like-
impressed.
I'd be like, damn, that worked out way better than I thought it was going to, and now I got to try that on my next run. You know?
All the easy ways to cable manage without having to deal with it for 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Just watch some dude pull all of his cables out like a big braid, do like some hand braids on it. It looks like a horsehair braid, you know, and then he like plugs all the shit in.
I think it took
I
me
wanna
two
see
and a
that.
half hours to do my cable
Okay,
management.
okay, cool. This segues into my problem. It took DreadPirate 2.5 hours to manage the best case, the easiest case I've ever built in with the best cable management on the back I've ever seen. Scorch probably remembers the days of the mustard and mayonnaise and ketchup cables and cable managing. Like they didn't have a back panel. You had to like figure out how to cable manage Molex of all things.
Yes, freaking Molex cables, dear God.
I've spent a weekend cable managing.
Never mind power supplies that came with like no freaking modular cables. So you still had extra cables just kind of hanging out in there.
Do you remember
Running on the
the,
cables?
Rolling those up into a ball and tucking it in at the bottom.
Yes.
do you
You
remember
absolutely did.
do you remember the Molex to PCIe power adapters?
Oh my God. They were monstrous.
Literally,
Monstrous.
like that's how dirty you could run your power back then. Is you could buy just it's a cable converter. It's pigtail. You plug it into Molex and now you have a PCIe power slot.
And the gauged wiring for all of those was thick.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
what was it,
12
like,
or 10 or something.
12.
They over engineered every fucking cable back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what never happened? Unless there was human error, they never burnt the fuck up.
Nope.
Or if you use that Molex to PCIe power cable.
Oh yeah, that might do it.
I remember building a we talked about it earlier, the GeForce connector in V-Link. I remember building a 3 graphics card, like old school NVIDIA Link system for a buddy of mine, and we had to use 2 of those connectors. And I was like, I don't recommend you bring this in your house. Like, lay on your porch.
That's so
Hey.
funny.
If anything's gonna burn down, leave it in the kitchen or the back porch.
Yeah. Or have the hose go through the window. It's up to you, man. Just he upgraded to water cooling shortly after that, and that's another thing that's just easy now. Like old school water cooling. He didn't do hard lines because he was.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd say easy, but it's definitely more available. It's definitely more readily available.
You can look up and purchase the parts you need. That is my standard of easy. Because back then you couldn't look anything up. You were at Tiger Direct with your torn apart graphics card, trying to see what blocks fit.
So this is kind of also going way back. Didn't CompUSA back in the day carry components like that?
Yeah.
I think they did.
Yeah,
I know they definitely had kits.
because I remember looking back in the day in CompUSA at like water cooling blocks and all that kind of shit. But back then I wasn't in a PC, so I was just like, why? Why would anybody fucking do this? And now here I am all these years later.
And now you know.
Dude, back in the day, you had to figure out how much automotive coolant you needed to put in your loop to make it work. That's what made the blacklight stuff reflective.
Yeah, and
So you were
automotive
using
coolant
actual
stuff
automotive coolant.
so
Yeah.
bad to use in computers
Now
now.
it's just a blacklight dye that you put in the.
Or any fucking color you want. If RGB doesn't go away, and I hope it does,
It's not.
I hope
Not.
I'm thinking about doing an old school blacklight PC.
That'd be dope.
Like if I have to have glass side panel, if I have to have RGB, let's make some cool things.
You don't have
You don't
to
have
do
to have
anything,
any.
buddy.
Like,
It's so hard to buy fans that don't have RGB on them. I know I can turn them off, but like I feel like I'm not using a feature.
it's really not. It's really not hard
Right.
to buy.
I resonate with that though. I
mean,
resonate. It's like I have it. I might as well fucking plug it in.
Yeah,
There,
and I
so there are plenty of non-LGB or RGB fans.
LGB.
I know there are, but they're the nice fans
think
now, so they're
RGB
But all, the
pricey.
best but all the best ones are.
Yeah, we're at this weird spot where like if you want non-RGB shit, you got to spend the extra money on the better stuff. But you also have RGB at the very low level and the very high level.
Okay, but
Height makes
hang on.
good non-RGB fans.
Hang on, just hear me out here. Noctua.
Yeah, that's
They have-
expensive. They're like $60 a fan.
Yeah, but they've never produced an RGB fan that I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, if I could afford Noctua fans, it would have Noctua fans, my man.
Who else? Arctic, right? Arctic has non-RGB sets.
Arctic's also come a long way. Arctic's really fucking good nowadays.
Yeah, they're more top rated and pretty affordable.
And Arctic is a really good budget friendly tier for the quality that you're getting.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I like the subtle lights from my SL Infinities. Like
Yeah.
I don't like the center fan to be lit. I just like the little like outer border being lit. You know, it's just a nice little aesthetic, and it's not like, you know, not like Pirate's computer over there.
Yeah,
The center of the
like,
fan
Roomba
is not,
unicorn
it's not
spew.
lit.
I bet if you turned your RGB off, your camera would get physically darker. it is a beacon of light on your desk.
all right, hold on, because I thought the computer case was the only light in your room.
No, I'm also not.
I actually was literally thinking that just now too. That
He
was the
also
only
has a
light you had
black
on.
light.
Well, okay, so I know he's got the rope light around his ceiling, right?
Yeah,
like,
It's
but-
not on.
I can see the
No,
corner
that-
of his ceiling. It's not on.
Those are my RGB light bulbs that are on. Okay.
okay, what is on your desk that's lit that we can see in the camera?
That is my PC.
That's the
Okay.
monster.
So yeah, that's what we figured.
That is the
That is-
unicorn
that's-
monster.
And what's
That is
crazy
one
is
of the fans.
that's one fan.
What?
Yeah,
That's-
you can
no.
only see one
That's
fan.
one fan.
Jesus.
And a little bit of his computer screen he has built into his computer.
Oh yeah, there is the MP3 player.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, it's just a really nice RGB fan. Like, I like that the lights aren't in the middle as well. They're just around the border of it.
But
We
it still
can't
lights
tell.
up the whole fan blade, doesn't it?
No,
Absolutely.
See,
Huh.
I'm the guy that, like, if I have to go RGB, I'm committing. Like, give me the
Kinda where I'm
RGB
at.
around the box of the fan. Give me the RGB in the fan. I just want to be blinded.
Cables
Beans is
are
gonna
next.
Beans next cooler is that MSI one that has the panoramic screen. You know,
Yeah.
on it?
he got the panoramic PC case.
The cube. Do you
Oh,
see
that's so
they're coming out, MSI's coming out with one that instead of a screen, it's gonna have a little rotating disc so you can put little figurines on it.
Yep, I saw that. And it's not big enough to put a pop figure in, so I'm not buying it.
The whole pop figure in your PC would be massive.
I could probably fit it, but I have a lot of room.
Yeah, he has a big case too.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
Beans has room. He can put a
Beans
pop
could
figure in
too.
like right up in the front corner of it.
I can definitely put 2 in this case right now, and I've thought about it already, fellas.
No,
The only reason I haven't yet is I haven't done my tuning on it, so I don't know how hot the plate gets on the GPU to put something on top of it.
it'll probably never get hot enough to melt a pop figure. Just saying. If it's hot enough to melt a pop figure, it will melt every piece of plastic in the case. So probably not.
He's not wrong,
That's true.
Fair?
including the power connector that's pressed up against it.
Right.
Okay,
Well, I know what's going in there the next time I open this case up.
but do they sell 200 millimeter fans? I'm
Oh,
talking
that
to
guy.
myself.
This guy, that is one of my favorites,
He's going in there.
Nice.
will be going in there.
Are the pop
Alright.
figures bobbleheads?
This
That
one
one
is.
Oh, okay.
Some of them are. That's originally how they started, was bobbleheads.
I've never touched one of those things, so
Yeah, I've got that one and this one out of a box.
Let's see.
Here you go, Kane. Arctic Cooling P12s,
I
120 millimeter, all black.
why
$10.
you one? I need P14s, and why are you looking at my computer screen like that?
I'm also on Micro Center.
Oh, I'm on their website.
Yeah, I'm on Micro Center's website. I'm looking at case fans.
We are all hovering over your shoulder.
Um.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get back to something that I actually really wanted to talk about. Advertising on Steam. Not us, obviously. Steam has banned all games that have in-game advertising.
That
Cool.
that makes it to where you have to watch the ad to play the game. You can still do microtransactions and DLCs, but it's games like if I have 6,000 energy and I use all 6,000, I can now watch an ad to get more. They're banning all those.
Okay, so they're banning mobile games. Got it.
Yeah, mobile games.
There's also some gotcha games that are kind of like that as well.
Yeah, the not safe for work games are similar to that model as well.
Oh, sweet. Maybe some of them will disappear out of my freaking library.
Nope, half of your library is going to still be those games.
I don't need them. I never wanted them. you
What
bastard.
can I say except you're welcome?
Beans, did you buy these for him?
Dude.
Maybe.
Okay. So there was a little while
I'm just
where
I've been staying
Beans,
quiet on this one.
Spaz, and Kain, Bean, Spaz, and Kain were all fucking buying me freaking like edgy games. And I'm just like, what the hell? Why do these keep appearing? You know what? They want to waste the money on me? Fine. So I accepted the gifts.
They're like
and I never played them.
$3 a game.
Which is also funny because you can just decline them. We
I
get our
know.
money back.
Yeah.
And you don't have all of these not safe for work games that you play all the time on your PC.
Yeah, but do you know what the best part is?
You got them for
didn't
free and you play them all the time now.
You didn't get your money back. That's the best part.
And you got loads of hours of entertainment now.
That's
To be
true.
fair, if they refunded me $3 that I spent on a not safe for work anime high school girl game that I bought Scorch, I would definitely send them 10 more. And I was keep escalating.
That is actually a very good point. So in order to reduce the level of escalation for these attacks, I just accepted them.
That is absolutely something we would have done too.
Yeah.
$3, $30. It's okay.
He'd be like, oh, what? You wouldn't accept my $3 game? Fine. Here's $30 worth of X number of games.
But it would have been each of us, which is the great part. You would have literally gotten spammed with like $300 worth of just hentai games.
Yeah, I know. And then my freaking library would have been like 500 some odd stupid games of shit I'd never play. Like, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, but it's really funny if somebody looks at your library and Sex with Hitler's in there.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I want people to come in and look at my profile and look at what games I have and be like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Why? But like, see,
The crazy part is how many
0
hours you actually have into them.
0. You can go check.
Sure.
What we're
That's a
really
true
looking
thing.
for. Which ones he booted up just to see.
Sex with Hitler 2069. Similar games you've played, Cyberpunk 2077.
Brilliant. Fucking brilliant.
Same, but different.
Okay. But yeah, I'm kind of okay with this. Like, yeah, it
I'm
gets
very much okay with that.
it gets a lot of mobile games off, but I don't know anybody that's using Steam for mobile games.
I know a couple people.
Really? Really?
They're
It also
So-
stops a lot of
So?
like AI, like not AI generated, but a lot of people that just spam games just to like kind of just like as money mills that usually have like AI generated content on. So it also makes your game be better.
Or at least vetted, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Steam was doing good for a while there, like supporting games from major companies, and then they went to their indie game structure, right? But now you get a lot of indie games that are like, watch this ad for 10 minutes, which monetizes the game company for the game that you paid for. So
And
I
that's
don't
the
know.
games that's banned now.
I think it's a smart move. I think it's really a smart move on Valve's part to not support that kind of, bullshit.
Especially after they're having a big issue with other platforms right now.
What do you mean?
Switch and Sony just had an issue with just their main pages being just flooded with these shitty AI generated games.
Didn't know about that, but again, not
Like a
surprising.
week or two ago. But good for them. And it, settles down all the clutter that is Steam. at least a little bit.
Yeah, it's when you don't know what you want to purchase, it's hard to find a game.
Yeah, the thing that still pisses me off about Valve and most game companies, though, is like the whole you purchase the digital license of a game and not own the game. Like that's the one thing that still stands out in my mind is like, despite all of this news, we technically don't own our Steam libraries.
Right.
We just own a title to them. And the game companies like Valve or, even the manufacturers can just pull the game anytime. And we're SOL. We're out that money.
Yeah, it
So-
does suck, but I think physical media is the only thing that's going to bring that back. And
Well, I mean,
even-
so GOG gives you installers, right?
Yeah.
They are like the one company that will actually give you the installer for the game, which is cool.
yeah, but GOG will also sell you an $8 Windows key that was definitely stolen.
I mean,
I'm not saying don't get one. That's how I get all mine. But
I didn't know GOG did that.
yeah.
So that's cool.
GOG sells Windows keys.
Yeah.
Yeah. You sure you're not talking about like cdkeys.com or whatever the hell that thing is?
Was it GOG? Hold on, let me check
It's
the link.
G2G.
GOG's a gaming.
Yeah, I'm pretty
like
sure-
gaming only. I thought.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, G2A. Yeah, G2A will sell you fucking any digital license you want. God knows if it's legit.
My bad. I did not
Hey,
mean
the
to
code works, the
research
code
the
works.
the great
I
name
mean-
of GOG.
How long does it work for though? Like if they get found out, it could be like pulled back, right?
Yeah, and then I'll go to cdkeys.com, buy a new key, and problem solved.
Let's start over again.
It's not like I have to delete anything. I literally just have to input another key.
I mean, if the key becomes invalid, all you have to deal with is a watermark.
Well, that
A
and I
couple
think that,
dumb things. You can't
yeah, I was gonna
can't
say
customize your Windows anymore. Like you can't choose what input or output you want for your headphones or mic. All that is just automatic.
Yeah, they've
Yeah,
gotten a little
Windows
bit more
11
annoying with it.
That's changed.
Yeah.
they've locked some things out now.
Yep. You can't do a bunch of stuff now without the actual key. You can use it.
So,
but it's
Pirate,
not-
do you still need a key?
No, I got one.
Oh, okay.
This is
Oh,
how
it
we
cost
found
me-
this out.
It cost me $23
Off G2A.
off G2A. Although I did accidentally purchase a Windows Office 2021 key, which you don't need anymore.
But it's not bad to have if you have a product key.
Exactly.
Because like it will still work, and then you don't have to worry about the freaking Office subscription, which by the way is $100 a year. Ask
I
me how
saw
know.
that, and they're kind of pushing people to do it now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They want people to
And, like,
subscription
they're
based
trying to force
their
people into
freaking-
it.
for their freaking business software, which is shit.
Yeah.
I was
But Office has been subscription based for a hot fucking minute now.
for
Yeah, but you
businesses.
can
For businesses,
no
but
like for me, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
my office is subscription based. I have to use that because I lost my product key that I got back in college when I got it for free.
oh,
So
Yeah,
sad
and
day.
the Office suite going subscription based was also part of the reason that Adobe went subscription based.
yep.
Well, damn.
And we ran into the same thing. We had the physical key for Adobe for a long time and we lost it. And that now we have to go subscription based.
With Adobe, I understand it a little bit more, but I don't agree with it.
I mean, like Adobe, as long as they're doing like regular updates or something, or giving you more features because of that subscription, sure. Like I could understand maybe getting like a product key for an older version of software, and like that's the only version of the software you get, and you don't get the cool new features of the cool shit they're coming out with. Like,
Sure.
fine, as long as it still does the thing that I need it to do, right? But like, don't fucking sell me your basic ass Excel sheets still and ask me for $100 a year. You know what I mean? Like, give me a free Excel viewer, right? Because everybody uses the same dumbass version of Excel right now.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised you didn't just switch over to like the Google version of Excel.
So sheets don't work quite as well as actual Excel documents.
It's not as smooth, no, but you can still get the same outcome out of it once you get fluent in it.
You can get by on it, but once you start actually getting into like
You can't do coding like you can in Excel.
Yeah, like you can't do formula. You can do some formulas, but you can't actually do like you can't run macros out of fucking sheets. You can't do like you can program freaking Excel. You can put in Java code or Python or whatever you want and have it run a script to do things to a spreadsheet.
True.
But you can't do that with sheets.
Okay. None of those things I never needed to do, so I didn't realize there's that big a difference.
No, I mean that's
Because
fair. And part of it. Good.
I have an Office subscription through my work, and I prefer Sheets. I will convert things from Sheets to Office when I'm done with it, just so it becomes other people's problems.
Yeah, on a basic level, that's the fucking way to go.
Yeah.
On a basic level, Excel is so frustrating. It's literally not until you get into the fucking nitty-gritty of the high-end things you can do within the program that it becomes useful, in my opinion.
Which is part of my job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use different things in the Microsoft Office suite for my job, so things that nobody else seems to use. Because if you ask a question, people like that exists.
So let me ask: do you ever connect to a backend database from an Excel spreadsheet?
No, but I do from my scheduling software and a lot of my other software that I use.
Yeah, but that's software that is designed to go and connect to those. Like you can actually run SQL queries to a backend database to populate an Excel sheet.
Nice.
It's pretty wild. It's not super secure, so I kind of hate it, but it does the thing.
Yeah, give it a couple more months and nothing will be secure.
I'll say we're not in the business of being secure. What are you talking about?
Nope. I mean, as soon as quantum computing comes around, all of our security protocols are deleted.
Yep.
Like I heard what was the SHA like 256 encryption has already been broken by quantum computing.
Yeah.
In like under 30 seconds.
Well, so
me.
No, I can't talk about that.
Okay.
Never mind. I was gonna give you guys like a brief overview of an unnamed military in an unnamed planet's way of fixing that. But yeah, I was just not worth it. Don't feel like going to jail.
There are things we're privy to that we literally can't talk about.
But on a lighter note, Star Trek Online just released a new friggin' expansion.
Isn't that game like older than World of Warcraft?
It came out just after World of Warcraft.
Okay.
I think it came out when Burning Crusades was out.
Jesus.
But this game,
So
game fucks. I used to love this game. I'm sorry, I'm just excited. That and Tibia, I don't know if any of you guys remember that, is also releasing a new class.
I remember the name Tibia, but I don't think I ever played it.
I think I saw an article on that earlier.
It came out in 1996, and I played it before I played RuneScape. It was like your 8-bit old school MMO like RuneScape was.
Nice.
Why the fuck are their servers still up? It's a free game. At least I don't remember paying for it. I was a child. I didn't have money, so there's no way I could have paid for it.
I mean, credit cards have been around for a long time.
So hey, hang on, is this game back in like the realm of like Nexus Online? Or
Dad's taking it back.
I played this before I played EverQuest.
Oh God.
The first
so
one.
this maybe is a little younger than Nexus Online. Okay, got it.
Yeah. It's not 96. When did Nexus come out?
Good question.
It came out in... Oh, it's not still running. If you look up Nexus Online, you immediately get to U.S. Customs and Border Protection. All right, not looking that up ever again.
Yeah, I forgot about that. There is a private company called Nexus that is in the realm of ice.
So Nexus, the Kingdom of the Winds, originally released in Korea in 1996 and North America in 1998.
So for us, Tibia is
It would've
2
been
years
Windows
older.
98.
What was that there, Beans?
It would have been the era of Windows 98.
Obviously.
Astute observation.
What I'm here for.
But yeah,
Captain Obvious over here.
I'm sure I still have subscription time on Star Trek. Like, if not, it can't be expensive. You guys want to go explore unknown universes and?
Nope.
Aw.
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that one.
I don't own it. I ain't playing it, and I really just can't do MMOs right now.
The fun
Like,
part
I can
about that
do-
one is you could like miss a day and you wouldn't feel it.
I mean, that's fair, but what if you miss like 30 days?
You could totally miss 30 days. It was basically a single player game that had like specific raids you could jump into. Because you didn't play a ship, you played a ship captain.
I mean, if I'm gonna do that, I may as well boot up Star Citizen.
Oh,
That is
Jesus.
that is fair. That is the game that I have talked myself out of multiple times.
Gentlemen, we
Look,
have wilds
Don't
coming
do
out.
it, Scorch. Don't do it.
What do you mean don't do it? I have 4 ships already. Freaking,
He's
all I
done
need
it.
to do is install the damn game.
Are they real ships or are they paintings of a ship that you purchased that are coming out at an unforeseeable time and place?
They are real ships.
Okay.
I can pilot and fly all of them as much as I want.
I heard the first person shooter aspect of that game got better.
I mean, I haven't played it in a couple years. I know that part of the playtest universe was there was like a multiplayer FPS, sort of like a arena style fight. It wasn't bad. I do know that they've added more guns and stuff like that, but I haven't installed
More
it.
pew
or played
pews.
it. Have I not installed it? Fuck, do I have it installed?
I demand Space Tarkov.
Space Marines.
No, Space Tarkov.
But Space Marines.
Escape from Tarkov, but in space.
Yeah.
So Space Marines.
Oh
So it
no,
should
Space
be-
Marine was a cakewalk compared to Tarkov. Tarkov sucked up 8 months of my life, and I didn't troll the forums or lurk the forums, and didn't realize we were having a server reset, and I almost got tortoise shelled in the server reset. I was like 3 successful missions away from being tortoise shelled, which is when I was playing it. It's probably not anymore. Was like, you've gathered everything. You're at 100% with all the vendors. You're like running a crypto mining rig to fund your addiction to 762. Like it was bad.
Jeez.
Yeah. But I was also in college, so I
You
had
had
time.
Let's see. I picked up
Of
my first
course.
ship in Star Citizen in 2016 or 2017. Just to let you
Oh,
know
that's
how long
early.
it's been developed.
Yeah.
How long it's been in development for one, and for two, I kind of like jumped on it when it first came out, and then there was a black market on Reddit for a while where you could buy ships for like cheaper because people were just trying to get out of the game. So I bought a couple ships that way. And back then they were giving you lifetime insurance on them.
Now it's 10-year, 10,000
Lifetime
bonus.
insurance.
So it is, in a sense, almost like Tarkov in space. Not to sorry, real name, called it 836. Not to excite Kain here, but yeah, it is sort of like a Tarkov in space. If you blow up your ship, if your ship gets destroyed, if your ship gets stolen, you have to claim insurance on it and pay in-game money to like get your ship back, basically, or to get a new version of it.
So
But
it was like
any-
an arcade version of having unlimited coins.
What? I mean, sort of. The thing is, though, is that any equipments you put on the ship or any cargo that you had is gone. You only get the ship back with
Oh.
insurance.
So it's like real life insurance.
yeah, essentially. You don't get all your cool mods. You just get the baseline model back.
Like one of those games people envelop their whole life into and then lose everything. And then, yeah.
Fuck, what was that space MMO?
Which one? There's
The one where you put your entire life into EVE Online. Is it at EVE Online yet?
I have no idea. I haven't played it in a while, but it does have multiple planets that you can visit at this point.
Well, no, I meant
And-
in the grind set. Remember, EVE Online was like people were making Excel spreadsheets to make sure they woke up on time to land on the planet because it was like 3 in real days travel time, and checking back
Oh,
every
wow.
10 minutes to make sure that they didn't get hunted by other players, and then they'd come out of warp and they'd immediately hide, or that one time that they almost crashed the servers because 2 clans decided to have a space war, and then it was
Mm,
like
much, man.
1,400 ships in one area fighting.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, or that
Well-
one time that players created a bank and it was a pyramid scheme, and they
I-
made like millions of real life
Surprise,
money.
That is
Right.
hilarious. I remember reading about that. One thing I did love about EVE Online, though, was that they had a whole separate game that was the same storyline, just the ground troops version of it, that would connect with EVE Online.
Yeah, that's a newer. I say newer. It's probably a few years old.
That's been out for at least 7-8 years now.
Well, I don't know that
But it
Star
was
Citizen
free.
is at that level.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that there are player-controlled like corporations and factions already within the game that like do certain things. So like you could have a player-controlled guild that is essentially law enforcement. There's like the Merchants Guild where you're just shipping cargo. You're basically Firefly, right? There's stuff like that in different factions and peoples and groups. And then there's missions you can actually go do where you're recovering data or you're breaking somebody out of prison or stuff like that. So I do know they did just recently release a highly anticipated ship which was called the Polaris, and it is one of the first I don't want to say frigate classes, but it's one of the larger ships. You can basically park another ship inside of it. It has a dock for it. So, cool stuff is still happening with that game. It's just never going to be like done at this point.
It sounds like EVE Online.
EVE Online. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've seen the
But,
graphics for Star Citizen, and I would rather play Star Citizen.
As a nice slap in the face, though, No Man's Sky came out and they just like populated their universe with like 1 billion explorable procedurally generated planets. So I know when No Man's Sky came out, I was like, hell no, this game's going to be bullshit. And you know what? It was. And then they continued working on it for years. And now apparently it's actually one of the better like space exploration and planet exploration games you can get into.
I mean, that's like the whatever the fucking one that Bethesda came out with.
Starfield?
76,
Starfield.
Star Citizen.
Starfield.
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 Star Citizen
Starfield.
is Starfield is never getting updated though. Like the current player count I think is like maybe 30 people.
It's
That bad?
The game had so much potential, but while I don't think the planets were procedurally generated, or if they were, it was just so rudimentary. It was the same
Yeah.
shit on every planet. There was a very monotonous storyline.
Yeah, hang on, let me search for it real quick. Starfield as of current moment. Let's see. Charts.
And I wanted to love Starfield.
Okay, so current players right now in Starfield is 3,169.
That is so
Nice.
sad.
So of their all-time peak, which was 330,000 players,
When it first came out.
they are at like what 1/1000th of their peak count.
Don't forget to carry the 0.
What's the player count for what's that first person shooter we were playing for a little bit or a lot of bit?
Delta Force?
No, not Delta Force, before that one. What the Terminids?
Helldivers?
Helldivers. Helldivers
That
is still
one.
going and kicking.
Helldivers 2, let's see. Charts. Current player count 65,000.
I'm
all-time
glad to
peak.
see that it's gone up because the last time I looked it up, it was like pretty low from where it started.
I mean, all-time peak was 458,000 people, and that was like week 1,
Yeah.
right? And then Sony came out and did all their bullshit about the like restricted countries and all that stuff. So
They
player
lost
count-
a lot.
the player count
mean-
dropped, and in solidarity, like a lot of people just almost stopped playing. But I don't know, it's too good to not keep playing.
It's a very fun game, but Sony quite literally screwed them over.
Yeah.
Talking about getting screwed over, GTA 6 PC release is going to be roughly 6 months after console release.
That's okay.
Meh. I mean, that's fine. I'm not worried about that. Like after so many PlayStation exclusives and then or Epic Game exclusives where they don't come out till 6 months later on Steam. It's whatever.
Also, it's a game about how we grew up.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I'm also just thinking.
It's
I'm
a
also
game
just
about
thinking
growing
that
up
I
in
don't.
Florida.
I don't need to buy games on day one anymore. Like realistically.
Oh, very
Wilds-
true. It's not worth it.
Yeah. There's not a reason to anymore.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I
there's-
mean, you get some pre-order bonuses, like with Wilds, for instance.
Haven't
But
most of you bought Wilds already?
they are beta testing the servers, though. We've actually play tested it, and we know even if it has a
Absolutely.
little bit of bugginess, it's going to be fine day one. Fingers crossed.
and yes, Pirate, we all already have Wilds.
And that's also a game where they do like real time, hey, there's a new monster or a new hunt or something like that. That's why I don't like them releasing 6 months after, because in World everything fun was spoiled. Like if you needed to figure out how to kill Shiva Jiva on PC, console already had 6 months on it.
Yeah.
But I don't play GTA Online, so that's probably not going to be my problem. I'm just going to play the shit out of this story like I did in GTA 5.
That's okay. GT Online is mostly like RP servers anyway.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. I go down rabbit holes watching RP server streams, and it is not fun. I don't know why I keep doing it.
I mean, it's kind of like playing D&D.
They really do it like that on
Yeah.
I haven't been on Grand Theft Auto Online.
Yeah, GTA Online, like depending on so a lot of the RP servers you actually have to apply for. They're not just going to let any toad on there.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the rules are that you have to stay in character and like all that fun stuff if you're actually going to be running around the world. So like there are full-blown communities based on RPing in GTA.
It's just Anarchy Online.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Everything's going full circle. Oh, this is going to be fun. Wait till GTA on VR.
Oh God. With haptic bodysuits.
Stop it.
I'm pro haptic bodysuit. If I can full dive into a video game, I would be happy. I don't even care if some rich dude captures me and forces me to fight my way out of it, get through all the stupid dungeons.
I'm with Kain on that one.
Like,
Dude, if you can full dive, you don't even need the haptic bodysuit. Your brain
Yeah.
feels the shit. I'm excited for that. If that ever happens, I want to try that.
Yeah.
I hope it happens in our lifetime.
I mean,
I
I don't want like a Sword Art Online experience, but
You're stuck in a game for an entire life before you kill the final boss.
yeah,
I'd be good with that.
I'd be good with
would
that.
you?
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
okay.
we're all going to be old by the time this is even a thing.
That's, I mean,
It's also
fucking fair.
it's also full dive. I could still get laid. And I have a nice enough significant other where she'd keep me alive until I died in game by doing something stupid. Which is probably how
Just
I'm going to
remember-
die in real life.
30 years.
Yeah, in full dive VR.
So sorry, just coming back real quick to the GTA Online thing. So current player count is almost 80,000 people still playing GTA 6 or 5.
just on PC.
Wow.
Yeah, just on Steam.
Jesus.
So
And-
like I said, the freaking RP community is huge.
Yeah. that's like the first, because I don't believe they have crossplay. That's like one of the first MMOs that was super successful on console. And I know a lot of people are going to argue, but it's a fucking MMO. If you're playing an RP server, you're playing in an MMO.
Yeah, not wrong.
Yeah.
I think the only other thing that would like maybe beat the level of RPing on a game would be like VR chat.
Yeah, what's your feelings on VR chat? I've been thinking about diving into that.
I messed with it like in its infancy when VR was first still kind of coming out. I would say it's definitely improved a lot. I mean, but you still get like the little children on there who are just screaming at the top of their lungs, and they're running as fast as possible through rooms, so you can't click on them to mute them fast enough. You know what I mean? Like that shit's still there.
I had a very similar experience the one time I tried the metaverse.
Nice.
I've got a friend that uses VR chat to manage her long distance relationship.
That's cool.
That's interesting.
So in that aspect, I can see a benefit for it, but I think it's kind of a mute thing nowadays.
No, VR chat's huge.
It is huge.
There's comedy shows on VR chat by actual comedians that you could only get into if you like purchase a $3 ticket on their website, and then they give you access to the VR chat room.
Yeah, I mean, current player count right now is almost 40,000.
Yeah,
So-
and I'm not saying that there isn't a fuck ton of people that utilize it, but I mean, 40,000 people for VR chat and throughout the world isn't a lot
Beats
for a
right
chat
around.
system. Because I don't look at it as a video game.
Well, it's also restricted by hardware. It's not
Right.
it's not something like anybody could pick up and go into VR chat.
you can play it without having virtual reality gear.
That's dumb.
I mean, you're looking at okay, but they made it compatible enough so that you could still be in the spaces, looking around and doing stuff and chatting with other people without having to have the full headset and avatar stuff going on. Yes, it kind of defeats the purpose, yes, but at the same time, like it does allow for accessibility.
That's fair. But
Right,
we had shit
follow-up
like that way
question.
back in the day.
VR chat date? Oh, cool. I already own it. Sweet. When did I buy this?
I don't have a VR rig.
I wasn't talking to you.
Either.
You don't need it. I just explained that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And I'm not going to use it without it.
You got my response. I could just talk to you guys on video.
Now,
VR.
I will say one cool thing is though is
Thank
that
you,
a lot of
somebody understands that's where I'm coming from.
I will say one cool thing that has come of VR chat is that there's actually a lot more people creating custom avatars to use in the game.
I was gonna say you said it wrong because we could win this argument. We can make it a 3v1. You can be Michelangelo in VR chat.
I get
And
that.
still have a small dick?
I mean,
Right.
yeah. Actually, no. You could have a massive dick. You just got to get somebody to model it.
But seriously, the character models are stupid. Like a lot of people put a lot of freaking time in them.
And they're not expensive. You're talking 20 or 30 bucks for a high end.
You just build your character and put whatever fun things you want on them.
You can get like a baseline model, and then you could ask the artist to like add customizations for you, and they'll charge you like $5 for a thing.
Yeah. Or
So I
you
know-
could be Michelangelo. I could be Donatello. We can go Ooga Booga in random chat rooms.
Cowabunga.
Dude, we could choreograph
This is
Vanilla
starting to sound like-
Ice's.
Oh my gosh. Go ninja, go ninja,
Yep.
go. This is sounding like old like RP chat forums back in the day.
That's all it
where
is.
Yeah, where you still can have an avatar, and then you could still earn like credits or whatever they fucking call them to purchase accessories.
Okay.
There's a
Uh,
pretty solid Vampire the Masquerade VR chat game that has like 400 players.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So that's
pretty cool.
the other thing that's cool about VR chat is that you can create private rooms and you can host D&D sessions where you're actually like LARPing your character. Right? Like they drop in a baddie and you sit there and swing at it until it's dead, or like you do your rolls, then that kind of shit. Like the mods on it have gotten pretty intense. Just like with most things once the mod community gets a hold of it.
That's fair.
Since we're talking about it, I'll drop this in chat for you there, Pirate.
But yeah, it's pretty dope. I've been wanting to get into it. It might force me to get back to 3D modeling because I haven't done that in a few years.
That is something I would actually like to get into. And I think I've talked to you guys about it before where I'm not like super satisfied with my current workplace.
Mhm.
Or more like the type of company that I'm in, not necessarily the place I'm at, the type of company I'm in. And I want to take a break, and that was one of the things I figured I would do on a break is just learn how to use like Blender.
Blender's great for learning that stuff, but it's a steep learning curve. You could start with way simpler programs and work your way into Blender.
I mean, that's fair, but I also have a Blender tutorial on Udemy
Yeah,
that I
and
bought for like $8.
Blender also has really good lessons for free.
Right.
And a really good help thing, but it is a steep learning curve. It's one of those using Blender is one of those things that when it clicks, but before it clicks, you are lost in the sauce and looking up everything to do anything, and you're gonna mess it up a bunch. And then as soon as it clicks, you're just a master of Blender.
Nice.
At least that's how it was with me.
But anytime you guys want to jump in VR chat, we can be sexy furries. Apparently
Oh,
a pretty
yeah.
popular thing.
That is a big popular community in VR chat.
Yep.
Said friend that I was talking about earlier, that's her community.
Do they call them fruits for fursuit?
No, I think they just use their character names. But there is another thing too, is what is it? The Quest 2 and 3 have like actual face tracking in them.
The Quest 3 does. I have a Quest 2.
So when you talk, your avatar's face like moves and does your expressions and all that shit. Like it's gotten pretty wild.
Yeah, if it's something I was going to get into regularly, I would pick up a Quest 3 because that's the cheaper and better solution right now. I shouldn't say cheaper. It's the less expensive solution right now. It's good. It's just not as good as if you put the towers in the corners and all that stuff.
Right. Here you go. Take a peek and just look at the featured products. You guys are gonna laugh.
Yep.
But we are at an hour 30. So does anybody else have any other topics they want to discuss? Oh yeah. Felix is calling to me.
Ooga ooga.
Oh my God.
Yeah, barring any other things, we're just gonna look at VR chat skins. Do you want to roll us out there, Poe?
Yeah, well, thank you all for listening or watching, depending on where you are. If you want to contact us for any sponsorships, any podcast topics you think are interesting, anything like that, please email us at TheDepthsofJigoku@gmail.com. You can find us at all of our social medias. That's Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and Twitch, which is The Depths of Jigoku. We should start streaming soon. I know I said that last podcast. We're just all trying to find a game that all 4 to 5 of us could play. If you need to talk to somebody, make sure to talk to somebody. Nothing's ever permanent. You could always heal. Y'all have a good night.
Later, guys.
There's so many
See ya.
furries.
There really are.